Hey everyone, I thought I'd hop on here. I just got back from the Omega Institute in Rhinebeck, New York. I spent some time with amazing colleagues and so many victims and survivors who have suffered coercive control, narcissistic abuse for so long, and their children are suffering too. I thought I'd just come on here instead of typing it, give you a few tips that I always go back to, and I talk about this constantly in my protective parenting program. We have to think about how do we get our children to regulate? They're living in a place of dysregulation. The lower part of their brain is activated, right? They're like, oh, really like intense, ready to be in survival mode, really. And that the only way to help a child regulate is if they can feel safe, even when they're in that awful state, that we've accepted them, that we know why they're behaving the way they're behaving, right? And that comes, by the way, in relationship. It comes in building trust. How can we build trust with these children who have been betrayed by the abuser? They always are. The abuser is a betrayer. They know the abuser doesn't love them unconditionally. But also, how can we show them that we are safe when the abuser is telling them something entirely different? So, getting them to regulation is really important because that's when we can get them to reasoning. You try to tell a 5-year-old they can't have the candy bar at the store and they're having a temper tantrum, you're not going to be able to reason with someone having a temper tantrum. That's a state of really intense dysregulation. That's the like reptilian part of the brain activated. And so this is Bruce Perry's work, which I adhere to very much. I align with it very much as I do with Gabor Maté's work and of course Bessel work. So many great people in the field who are really talking about this need for children to be able to regulate. And there are really amazing people doing this work, but I want to add the layer of coercion and control. So, yes, we can help them in this process, but we always have to be aware that when they're not with us, they're being, sadly, either covertly or overtly actively abused. And that experience is going to continue to create a dysregulation, which means we have to be on a lot. And that is exhausting. That is really exhausting. So, whatever you can do to create quality time, connection, make it relevant to your child. If they're little and they like Play-Doh, and you really don't feel like playing Candyland, but they want to play Candyland, it might be a really great way to create that for them, to create that connection, that feeling of safety. It has to be rhythmic. Not that it has to be, but it should be. It should be movement of some sort. Sitting still like a child, think about a child in school. Sitting still is not helpful. Having them move, get on the trampoline together, go for a walk together, go to a stream and look for some pollywogs, whatever it is, right? Repetitive. It has to feel like authentically like something you want to do, and then you have to repeat it. And it doesn't have to be the same exact thing. But what can you do when your child comes home this weekend? How can you, or they come home this week from, by the way, the abuser's house, right? Is it relational? Is it making them feel connected to you? And of course, all of this is rewarding. The brain actually is like, whoa, this feels really good. And that's what we want, fun, happy times, right? Something that makes us feel good. And of course, always respectful. It does make me think of something that Dr. Ramani did say this weekend, which is that a lot of the times these children believe they have to be perfect, right? Because the abuser doesn't leave any room for error. Right. And that's not every single one of these situations, but it's a lot of them where the abuser doesn't leave any room for error. Some abusers leave tons of room for error, right? It can be also the alternative. But what about these kiddos who think that if they dropped milk or like she said, you drop milk on the floor and then you make it kind of like, oh, how many paper towels is that going to take to clean up versus them immediately getting into dysregulated state, feeling shame, feeling like they did something very wrong, knowing that if they were with the abuser, that would happen. That's again, if the abuser is more of an aggressive, overtly aggressive abuser. If the abuser is not that much of an overtly aggressive abuser and they're more covert, they might just tell the child, they don't have to worry about picking up the milk. They'll pick it up. They take away a child's ability to feel competent and comfortable in doing these things. Or they'll say something like, oh, we'll get it later, knowing full well that you're going to get it, right? So thinking about all the different ways that this plays out, be available in a way that helps them regulate so that, and it feels like really good and rewarding so that they feel related to you. And in that, they will get to reasoning. It's going to take a while and it's going to be a lot of back and forth, but they will get to this place of understanding what's really going on. So important that you discern for yourself the world around you and your children that you are so different than that abuser has ever described you as. You are not that person. Who are you? You lost yourself in this relationship. Your kids need to see who you really are. And that's a challenging thing to do, especially when they're dysregulated. And we're not perfect and we make mistakes and we learn from everyone. I learned so much this weekend, again, just by being there, having the opportunity to assist Dr. Romani with Dr. Catherine Barrett. These are the things that we can do. We can be open to learning and knowing that we've got so much to offer to our children. You are the best therapist your child could ever have. So have a great week. See you later, guys. Ciao.